Okay, so I've noticed something strange, and maybe it's just me. Maybe you all have a completely different perspective. But as a dungeon master, we spend a ton of time trying to improve our skills. We're reading blogs and books and listening to podcasts, watching weirdos on YouTube give advice, right? But there is a single habit. I know this one weird trick. No, but there is really one habit that I think is, for me personally at least, it's been the biggest source of improvement as a dungeon master. And I don't see anyone talking about it. I don't. Their dungeon tubers aren't talking about it. I'm not reading about it online, and no one I know in my dungeon master circles um, has ever really discussed this, and that is doing session reviews. Before I explain, my name is Jacob. This is the Young Heroes Guild, where I talk about Dungeons and Dragons, specifically running the game for and with kids. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing. Now, what am I talking about? Why are session reviews so important? If you're just running a session, you run it, it's great, there are good parts, there are bad parts, and you move along. You start prepping the next, and you just repeat. You may improve. You may. You probably will improve a little bit. But if you don't stop to review what it is you're doing, where are your successes? Well, where are your failures? You're very likely to repeat bad habits without ever even realizing it, right? I mean, think about the world's greatest athletes. They review footage of themselves to spot bad habits that they would otherwise miss. So I think we should be doing the same thing. And it's something that I've always done. This is just a habit that I have in my professional and personal life that I brought into my dungeon mastering life. How I do a session review is typically the day after a session, I will write out either in a few sentences or maybe a couple of paragraphs everything that occurred, and then I'll take my prep notes, my memory of what happened, and maybe my player feedback, and go back over everything, and I'll jot down my thoughts. You know, maybe this particular NPC resonated well with the players, and I'll try to analyze why. What did I do? What was the situation like? Maybe an NPC fell flat. Maybe I didn't play them in a way that I had intended or that I would like to have. So I can look at that, analyze what did I do, what didn't I do. Maybe an encounter was a huge success. They really loved it, and I can look at why they did or why they didn't, right? So I am able to pinpoint, at least attempt to pinpoint, my successes and my failures. So, like I said, I think this is a very important habit to have. And it's one that I don't really see anyone talking about. Perhaps it's so obvious that everyone's doing it and no one is discussing it, but I kind of doubt that. One thing that I don't do, however, and I'm going to start doing, or at least I'm going to tell you that I'm going to start doing it, is that I would like all of these to be in a single journal. Right now, all of my prep notes are in a single Obsidian vault, but my review notes are everywhere. Sometimes I email them to myself. I text myself actually, or they're just scattered around in random places. But I would really like to be able to go back and review, my session review from 2 weeks ago or 2 years ago. I think that would really be a good resource for me to have. So I'm going to try to start doing that. Like I said, I don't know if I actually will. Anyway, let me know. Is this crazy? Do you do session reviews? Are they helpful? Let me know. Take care.